hands down, starting YouTube has been the most exposing experience of my professional life so far. I have been on the platform for 5 years, and I want to tell you very honestly what it's like. So first of all, it's a marathon, and I know a lot of people say that, but not everyone says why. I think people have this idea of the algorithm being this evil thing that just doesn't like you and we're all battling the algorithm. The reality is that you're probably just very shit at making videos, and this is something that is heartbreaking to realize because you just don't want to believe it, because then you're like, damn, so now how do I get out of here? The answer is that it takes so long to go on YouTube because you take so long to build those skills, and that's just the reality of it. It's so freaking rare that someone actually gets monetized after a couple of videos. And I know that you've probably seen channels like that, but that's exactly because it's so rare that whenever we see a video that talks about being monetized in a few weeks, in, the first month, with the first video that you've posted, we are absolutely shocked to see it. So obviously we watch it, and that's how that video goes completely blows up in the algorithm, because people want to see and people want to know, how can I do that too? But the answer might be that this very likely will not happen for you. What's likely going to happen is you're going to be posting for some years, and then at some point you'll get good enough that your baseline is actually decent. That's when actually a good video can pop off and the algorithm can pick it up. So as much as we love fantasizing about, I'm just gonna post this amazing idea that I have, it's so radical, it's so interesting, I'm just going to put that video up, and then we post our first video, maybe our fifth video, and we think, but it was such an excellent idea, why is the blowing up not happening? What's that about? Please, YouTube. The reality is, for most people, it doesn't. It takes more than 100 videos, if I'm not mistaken, about 150 videos for an average channel to get monetized. So you're here for the long game, and you have to really realize it. I would give yourself at least 2 years of posting consistently once per week. That's what I would say ideally. I didn't do that when I first started on YouTube. I was posting consistently for about 1.5 years, and then I got a job in consulting, which was very intense, and it just slipped off my schedule. My commitment dropped a little bit because I was so busy and I was adjusting. And I don't think that it's fair to say I didn't have time. I think it's fair to say that I didn't allocate the time to it, and I didn't prioritize it over other things. Which leads me to share the very emotional and very real point number 2, which is YouTube takes working your ass off to make this work consistently. The thing is, unless you have the budget to outsource the editing and, a bunch of other stuff like thumbnail design and ideation, you will be spending hours and hours and hours on this every single week. I want you to realize going into it that it's going to take some sacrifice, and it's going to take you really working hard and grinding and kind of hustling alongside all the other commitments that you have. Almost the entire duration of my channel, I've been doing it alongside a full-time job, and then now recently I'm doing it alongside a full-time degree. It's never been the case that I have all the time in the world to dedicate to it. And the way that this works is I have to sacrifice some other stuff, some stuff from my social life. Sometimes it has been sleep, and I'm not proud to say that, but it has been. I'm giving you the very real situation and how it's actually, been going, rather than my wishy-washy stuff. Sometimes it's taken me saying no to a plan that I really wanted to make. Sometimes it meant saying no to rest, and quite honestly, for the past however many months, I've been back to YouTube very consistently, and actually more consistently than my ideal baseline that I've given you, the 1 video per week. At the moment, I batch record about 2, but sometimes 5 videos per week, and I'm managing 2 YouTube channels now because I want to give the second one a go, because I think I've just accumulated so much knowledge about this stuff. I just need an outlet to share it, all about YouTube strategy, about the reality of doing it, and all of the stuff that I've learned throughout the 5 years. I'm also aiming to post more than 1 video per week. All of that stuff takes time, and you should treat it as basically starting your own business alongside whatever job you're doing. You will have to be really efficient with your time. And let me tell you what that looks like in practice for me. First of all, I don't do nearly as much resting as I should. I really am a huge proponent of rest and work-life balance. I've made so many videos on work-life balance when I was sharing more about my consulting job and my kind of experience in the consulting industry on my main channel. And the thing that I was so passionate about was work-life balance, and I still am. But the thing is, now I just choose to sacrifice that for a period of time, for a phase of life, to really hustle and give this a proper go. I'll give you a very real example. When I'm in the shower, I listen to YouTube strategy videos and I'm learning and I'm keeping as freaking up to date with the latest YouTube strategy as possible. All the advice out there I have probably consumed and, synthesized in my brain and picked out what bits work for me, what bits don't work for me. I have a lot of Notion pages that collect all my business ideas for how I can best structure my kind of the offer that I then sell, which is coaching for both of my channels. It's collecting all of my ideas for videos for both channels. All of that stuff I collect. And sometimes in my shower is the time when I get an idea like that, and I'm literally in the shower with my phone noting down YouTube ideas and things that I want to try, or I might come up with some sort of plan of what I want to shoot this weekend, for example. That time that you would think should be, the relaxing, mindful time, winding down from the day, because I'm an evening showerer, so it's a winding down from the day for me. All of that is kind of gone, and I very rarely do it anymore for this phase of life. The second thing is commutes. I am currently doing a dance degree. This is my career break from consulting. And this is the second part of my life. It's the dance world because I'm a professional dancer. I have to commute every day. It's an in-person course, 5 days a week. So I currently have about 30 to 40 minutes of a commute, which I normally spend on anything YouTube related. Third thing is there have been so many times on this YouTube/business journey that I have been terrified. I had my heart racing. I had the feeling of panic. And that is because I have found it so incredibly exposing to do YouTube. If you are similar to me and if you're a very private person, which personally I am, I love keeping a lot of stuff to myself because I think it takes a level of trust with someone for me to share deeper things and more personal things. But I have been so incredibly private in my life that even sharing, some of my knowledge, even sharing some of my work experience, sharing any personal details at all feels incredibly vulnerable. And I just found that whenever I came up to like a new milestone in my journey, for example, it was the first time that I recorded a video, I was in front of a camera and I was frozen. It's like I forgot how to speak and I just couldn't get the words out because suddenly that little lens, just this little lens, it adds so much pressure and it makes you feel so naked and just exposed because if you're very bad at talking, if you're not articulate, if you're nervous, if you hate public speaking, if you feel like you're an imposter and you don't actually have valuable stuff to share, all of that stuff will show. So things like that where I was absolutely like scared, like on a body level, scared of, okay, I'm going to be so freaking judged. I'm going to be expelled from society and from my friendship group. And oh my God, what is this person going to think if they ever find my video? All of those thoughts were debilitating to me. And I gotta tell you that it stopped me for a very, very long time because I was thinking about doing YouTube for months, if not years, actually, before I gave it a go. I had several milestones like that. First one was even starting YouTube and recording the first video. Second one was pressing publish. For some reason, it just felt like this big, huge step for me. And I mean, lo and behold, no one watched the first video except my family and friends because they were very supportive. And I'm going to tell you, I only told maybe 5 people total. For the first 3 years of my YouTube channel, I barely told anyone that I do YouTube because I was so ashamed to share it because I was so nervous about being seen online and actually having people form an opinion about me, which might not be as favorable, and judging me for doing YouTube in the first place or for what I share there. And oh my God, am I oversharing? Am I just very boring? And all of those thoughts are like circling in your head all the time. The next step and milestone for me was to tell people outside of my immediate circle. The first time that I did, I'm telling you, it kind of felt like a semi-panic attack inside of me. That's how scared I was to actually tell people. But once I've done it once, the second time was still scary, but not as scary. And then the third time was a little bit better yet again. And now I actually am working on telling people a bit more openly upfront. You know, if I'm, say, like with my laptop and I'm doing some editing and someone comes up to me and they just ask, oh, what are you doing? Normally, up until now, and bear in mind, I'm 5 years into this, 5 years, I would say, oh, I'm just doing some personal admin, because I just wouldn't want to tell people that I'm actually, you know, what I'm doing, Susan, is staring at my own face for the past 4 hours and cutting out little pauses because I can't talk continuously and I just have lots of ums and ahs, and then I'm trying to piece together this 20-minute video of my face talking, and that's what I've been doing this whole time sitting here. I couldn't bring myself to tell someone very simply that I'm just editing a YouTube video. I'm starting to become a bit more comfortable with that stage now. And the thing is, this will not end. There's always something to overcome in terms of fear, in terms of being exposed. I'm sure at some point you get good enough that actually you're like comfortable where you're at with the way that you share and how much you share. But if you start to build your own business offer, for example, like coaching, a big step for me was doing my first ever coaching call, because again, I had all the imposter and nervousness and just unfamiliarity. That's what it is. It's just not being familiar with doing the stuff long enough. I want to promise you that if you just do it anyway, if you just do it scared and you just show up for yourself and you just ignore the fact that you're scared, or maybe don't ignore it, take it as a very good green flag that you're doing something out of your comfort zone and it's something that you should pursue. It will get easier and you'll get better at it, and then your baseline will keep shifting and shifting and shifting, and eventually pressing publish will be nothing. It'll just be completely normal. Telling people that you do YouTube will be completely normal. It'll just become part of your identity because you'll be claiming it a bit more comfortably. Telling people that you offer coaching will become way more normal, which now I feel much more comfortable saying that I offer coaching for YouTube and for my main channel as well, because now I've done it. And I feel like I'm actually adding something to people that I speak to, and I feel like I can offer something that's valuable. You won't feel that fully in your body until you have done it. So it's not exactly fake it till you make it. It's kind of just make it and then you'll feel it, sort of thing. That's what I would tell you, and I think you should note this going in, because it's not a fun little ride. It's kind of like a never-ending roller coaster, and you should really commit to it. You should commit to doing YouTube for long enough. Most people fail because they quit too soon. I'm determined to not do that, so I hope you join me in this challenge. If you find this useful, I am currently building out an email list. I'm not yet sending emails, but when I do, if you want to be the first one to get it with all the honest YouTube talk and strategy and advice from 5 years on the platform, then you can subscribe via the link down below, completely free. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.